Hi, I'm David Bellah, and my research paper was over should student athletes be allowed to profit from their name or likeness? First, I'd like to give you some background information on the NCAA. It was intended by Theodore Roosevelt to govern the safety of college-gate athletes in the early 1900s. Over the last 100 years, this has changed, and student safety is not part of the NCAA guidelines. It's no longer one of their responsibilities. They're more concerned with amateurism, which is student profiting, and meal plans than safety. They have Currently they have no concussion regulations. There's no guideline for safety equipment, helmets, and there's some really good helmets out there that monitor concussion safety. But that's another thing. The most importantly, the NCAA can and does profit from college students' names and likeness. Under the current model, NCAA bylaw 12.1.2.1.6 prohibits student athletes from profiting from their name or likeness. This doesn't apply to students. This rule, the NCAA only applies to college athletes. Other students can profit for their contributions through their paid internships. Student athletes couldn't even profit through those kind of things until this year. Now they can be paid up to $2,000 for work not relating to athletics. This is an autograph from Todd Gurley, a UGA student, and I would ask that you try to see past that he is a UGA student for a minute. This is a college student that is very talented, that profited close to $2,000, I think is the amount, and was suspended for a couple of games. That was a picture of it being authenticated through a website, JSA. He was a potential Heisman candidate, and when he was suspended by his school for 2 games, and the NCAA came back and said, that's not enough. We want you suspended 4 games. It ruined his chances for the Heisman Trophy. It's not looking out for the best interest of the student athlete at all. He was reported by his institution, and then they doubled his punishment. They ruled that all of his money be paid to a charity of his choice, and that's standard policy. If you make a profit as a student athlete, you can give the money to a charity, and they kind of forgive you. His jersey sells for $134.95 on the campus store and the website. I think it's been pulled from the website, but that's how much his jersey sells for, and the profits go to the NCAA. The needed change: a former college athlete that was used in video games, a basketball player, he's a UCLA player, O'Bannon. He sued the NCAA for they gave permission to EA Sports to use his image and name on a video game. 2009, the suit finally went to court, and in last month, the judge finally ruled in favor of O'Bannon. And so the NCAA and EA Sports were ordered to pay a class action lawsuit against him and other college athletes. This is the first time in history college athletes have been paid for their name and likeness. NCAA had to pay $20 million, which is a drop in the bucket to them, and EA Sports had to pay $40 million. Last year, the NCAA profited close to $1 billion, and I'll show you where that money came from. In this chart, it shows, according to IndyStar.com, the NCAA profited $912.8 million. CBS and Turner Broadcasting is a majority of that. Probably 88% of that comes from broadcasting fees. Division I tickets made up less than 20%. The NCAA's investments made up even less. ESPN is just nothing, and I thought that would have been a larger a larger part, but they probably make up 8% of this, and then their own sales. So the question you have to ask is, what service did the NCAA provide? The athletes play on college campuses. They're not paid. Colleges aren't paid. The broadcast companies provide the filming equipment and the production employees. The NCAA only has a monopoly on the student athletes' names and likeness, and that's what they're profiting from. So I just ask you to imagine if someone was profiting from your name or likeness and didn't pay you any royalties or even ask. They just had this monopoly. How would that make you feel if you couldn't even autograph something and use your own name or likeness? I can't imagine it would feel well. The consequences of the change. Opponents of this change will say it takes away from college sports. It will take away from the quote-unquote purity of the game. But the supporters of this realize it rewards talented players for their contributions on the field and to their team. This will end rules that punish players and provide no safety regulations as originally intended. And that's my point, is I would like to see the NCAA go back to that governing body of safety and allow the players to profit themselves from their name and likeness. This is Todd Gurley profited off campus on his own free time. There was nothing illegal about what he did. If you would like to sign this online petition I've started, this will give student athletes the right to their own name and likeness. It already has a couple of votes. I wanted to put it up for the class to sign first, if anybody from here was interested, but as soon as I put it up, it started getting votes. This will allow student athletes to profit. It goes into depth about it. The financial limit, there should not be one from their name and likeness. If they want to be on a video game, they should be paid a royalty for their use and broadcasting. Student athletes put their body on the line, and that's their trade, and their scholarship is separate from this. There should be a limit on the scholarship. It should only cover their academic needs. That should be capped. But this petition only allows student athletes permission to gain profit from the use of their name and likeness. It can be found at thepetitionsite.com 990/198/251/ student athletes should be able to profit from their name and likeness. Thank you for your time.